Hey, some members of Steering Committee Board and I have a meeting with the Office of Institutional Engagement and Well-being about the change from the Office of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion to the Office of Institutional Engagement and Well-being. The meeting is just going to cover some stuff like why was this change made, what were the people involved in making those changes, like the people represented in making those changes. But another thing that's been an issue now is that since they changed the office, they've also changed the website that displays the functions and services of the office. So that includes stuff like disability resources, Title VI stuff, other stuff along those lines. And now the issue with that following along is that since they changed it from this office to another office online, when people are looking for these resources, it's harder to find. So like sometimes if they go to the main website, it just shows error 404 and this actually redirect them to the proper resource. This creates an issue of misinformation, and that's just not something you want when you're governing a student population that's already worried about the current educational climate. So we're going to talk about stuff like that, and we're just going to get a better idea of this new office. I'm interested because it's technically the same person running both offices. The same dude who ran the Office of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion is running the Office of Institutional Engagement and Well-being. So I'm just interested in like what are the actual functional changes in the offices? Were there any cuts? Were there any structural reorganizing of people and teams? Like were any specialists cut? Were there any like funding cuts and stuff like that? So I think it's gonna be really really interesting. There's also some other questions, but I'm excited. Um, I'm excited. Like before, this is my second video covering this, but the first video I kind of just gave my brief thoughts. It wasn't very organized. I didn't actually do that much research because I was still catching up on the topic for the meeting. But now I've actually looked through, and there's actually some stuff that I do think are interesting. For example, thanks to Wayback, Wayback basically provides the archive of internet pages. So thanks to Wayback machine, we're able to select what pages, what tabs were on the Office of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion that are not currently is the keyword here, that are not currently on the Office of Institutional Engagement and Well-being. So some tabs include stuff like this. Let me just make sure. Education, engagement, data. Data has stuff like student diversity, faculty diversity, campus climate assessment, stuff like that. Those stuff, as far as my eyes can tell me, maybe my eyes are deceiving me, are not currently on the page. What's on the page for Office of Institutional Engagement and Well-being is prevention at Pitt, disability access, and civil rights and Title IX. So that's interesting to me because I don't know. I think it's interesting because I don't know if that's an intentional thing or if that's just a matter of okay, we're still restructuring these pages. So the full page of office, the full page of Office of Institutional Engagement and Well-being is not fully complete. That's why I'm hoping, or it could also be another thing where it's like okay, it is complete, but these are the only tabs we're going to be showing. So we're not going to be showing stuff like the data we once had up on our previous page is not going to be up anymore. They also haven't showed the team, so I think that's also another thing. That's why I'm curious about like the custom reorganizing because I am curious like why not show about like they don't have like an about section really, so that's really interesting to me. Um, but yeah, that's why I'm excited. I think it's cool. I think it's gonna be a fun time. I want to just get to know more of the people in the administration for Steering Committee Board. I'm not Steering Committee Board for the University of Pittsburgh. I actually want to make those connections because I feel like a lot of times there's so much that can get lost in the whole idea of like being corporate. But if you can just give me like the truth and I can give you the truth, we can both get our jobs. And I actually came up with this quote a couple minutes ago. It's basically if Batman was speaking Cantonese and Robin was speaking Spanish, they wouldn't be the best crime fighting duo. I think that applies to like my role in Student Government Board as an executive board member and their role because I'm here to like serve the students. I'm here to provide information, provide services, and they do the same thing on a larger scale and a different function. But we both complement each other, and if we're not speaking the same language, if we're not operating with the same information and same trust, then we cannot both get our jobs done in the fullest capacity and 10% extra. So I think it's going to be something where I want to establish those relationships on a personal level, so I can know it's like okay, you know me, I know you. Let's share the information we need to share. But yeah, I'm also seeing online that people are aware like this because this is also a time where since we're in July, people are learning more about the school they're going to, especially incoming freshmen and transfers and stuff like that. So people who are curious about these services are being redirected to pages that say error 404, that's a very concerning thing because, like I said before, with the current educational climate, you don't know. Like that could just be error 404, like something's wrong with the website, or that could just be like, hey guys, I'm not gonna lie, we don't have those services, so best of luck. Um, so that's something I'm curious about. That's also a question. We have kind of a list of questions prepared, but something, a question I'm curious about is the current timeline in place to make sure all students are informed of the changes and the necessary stuff they should be informed on. Um, but yeah, I don't know. There's not much else besides that. I do think before I end this video, I kind of want to touch on anything, a personal failure of mine. I don't feel like I've been as good as a leader when it comes to student government board yet because I have not been very consistent with keeping up with stuff. Like with this, I've been like the way it works is that we have like maybe not a crisis, but like something happens, and then I look into like for that couple hours or maybe day, and I go into my other projects, but I don't consistently stay on it. Even with campus operations and innovation, I'm serving as the liaison to the committee, and it's very cool. We have some cool stuff going on with like the Uber deal and some other planned stuff, but I want to be much more organized. I have a lot of ideas in my mind, but I want to make those much more concrete by creating actionable plans. Um, I think that's really where I want to go. So I think that's something that I'm going to be looking forward to this coming week. Try and get that done. Have like a roadmap. I really want to use Notion. I really, really want to use Notion to actually like organize these project ideas and plans. It's just I'm so bad at it. For my work, for my job, I do use Notion to a limited scale. The team does use it to a larger scale. Like they actually like there's like whole pages to like walk you how to do certain stuff, to explain to you how to do certain stuff. But I'm just not good at it. I really think it would like really, if I could master it, or if I could even get like a good handling on the surface, I think I could just do so much more. But that's my hope, to just kind of get like the ideas in my head and plans for the University of Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh as a whole down, and start having those stuff planned. I can actually plan them out. I can actually walk in those directions and do stuff that actually impact those plans in a positive way. But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. I'm excited. I'm interested. I'm really hoping it's a great meeting with a lot of information shared. I'm also hoping to see if I can like talk on a technical level. I'm not from a technical background, to ask if they could do some stuff with actually making sure that the pages that are no longer up actually redirect you or inform you of the necessary changes, because I don't want it to be a case of misinformation being spread, and I already know that there's a lot of people who are worried. I don't want that to be a thing with my student body and other student bodies, so I really want to make sure we make those appropriate changes. I think from a technical background, I could maybe try and talk, like I could think like, hey guys, I did an HTML class once, something like that. But yeah, we'll see. But besides that, I have nothing else to say. So, have a great day.